fertilizer time. Hopefully a raccoon doesn't fall out of there. You guys better get your taste of Brian now, because he's not going to be around.
So that leads us to the song of the day.
I guess, right away in the video.
DC, dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Okay, what about dirty deeds done dirt cheap? Grab me some drink and we'll get going. It's a chilly morning tomorrow. It's saying 80% chance of rain. That's a good chance. That is a good chance. And so tomorrow's Wednesday. Friday and Saturday we got a 50% chance each of those days. And so our thought was we get half our acres spread last night and today, half our corn acres, and if we don't get that rain on Wednesday, which, you know, we've missed more than we've gotten, and then we'll keep fertilizing Thursday before those next two chances, and then we'll be able to finish all of our corn acres. So we'll see, wrong or right, we're spreading fertilizer. All depends on if it rains or not. Good morning, Ellie. It's not very often this time of the year, springtime, doing field work where you pull into a field and don't even think about putting your front wheel assist on, you know, not being in four-wheel drive. But it's, if you've heard me once, you've heard me 50 times. It's dry out here. Yesterday we were working on some of these ditches. We finished in this field, emptied the spreader. Really deep ditches, so we're going to the other end of the field, throw off some weight before we get back into those ditches. They're pretty dangerous. Dad called me again. He said, hey, don't drive across them ditches with a full spreader. We're gonna try to do a couple quarters and an 80 today. It'll go just fine unless we break something. One good thing about it being super dry with these big gaps and cracks in the ground, this fertilizer can fall right in, get right into the root zone. We don't even need a rain. Making our way across the field, just getting to where we did yesterday. That's that little chunk. So we're gonna hop around and hopefully that covers most of the ditches. It's gonna be just a cloudy, windy, sad day today, but in about 3 days, it might get up to 80 degrees. It's crazy, going from 20 degrees at night to 80 degrees during the day. All I can say is, I hope it rains. That is some nasty looking stuff. All you really got to do is hit it perpendicular, because you're not gonna roll over forward or backwards. But if you hit it at an angle and get that big thing shifting, all that fertilizer running one way, that's when you have trouble. Might get off a little bit, but it's better than rolling over and feeling the wrath from Brian Sonny. Hey, we got somebody wanting to buy the rest of our barbed wire. How much will we have? Over at Starla Station, of course, we're still having a hard time getting in pallets of barbed wire. We're doing a little bit better job than some other people. One person comes in, they want 5 pallets of barbed wire, and that's like, takes us a good month or two to get in, and then they don't want any T-posts. Well, then we're sitting on a bunch of T-posts, and then the next person comes in, and it's just, you know, you don't want to limit people. You got a good customer, they want a lot of stuff, but it's hard to sell T-posts when they don't need wire. And we just ran out with 10 acres left. So we gotta run home, fill it up, finish this, and then go to the next one. That's pretty obvious. It doesn't take a genius to understand that. It's all because of that first load that I did yesterday. I didn't fill the spreader really, really full. Now I have regrets. Hello. There's not much left in there, but there's a decent amount in the back, I guess. Not much going on around here. Our chance of rain went from 80% to 70%. That's scary. Even if it stays at 80%, that doesn't mean much, but when it starts going down, that's just not good. Here's the next field. And our neighbor adjacent to us, they actually did a bunch of dirt work. They ripped out our old crappy fence and they leveled it out so this field would drain better. It helped both of us out. They did all the work. Win-win in my opinion. So now that fence line's all tore out, Dad and I are gonna take our drill and we're gonna drill grass back into it, and then we'll also probably put the fence in this fall. They didn't do all the work. They did the first half, we'll do the second half. This spreader full won't finish this field. Once we get done, that's a big rock, look at that thing. Once I empty the spreader, I'll run home, find something to eat, maybe run to Storla Station and grab a sandwich. Not much interesting going on, but you know, it's been a while since we did a YouTube live. And we're just a few thousand subscribers away from 200,000 subscribers. Just want to thank all of you very much. It's changed our lives. It's a lot of fun. It gives me purpose every day, getting to reply to comments and read stuff and interact with people. Once we get to 200,000, Dad and I will do a live, kind of talk to you more face to face and get to answer questions, and you know, it's just kind of a fun experience for everybody. So we hope to see you then. Don't obviously have a date on it, don't know when it's going to happen, but soon after, whenever we hit 200,000, we'll do another YouTube live. About 37 degrees and windy. Gonna make sure nothing's calving over there. Run to Storla Station, get some lunch. Got the food. Before we fill that first spreader, I'm gonna fertilize Mom's garden with some expired milk. It smells not good. Got some calcium and some, you know, nitrogen and stuff in there. Oh, man. If only that would have fit last time. I could sneak about that much candy in my pocket going to a movie theater. a lot easier with 2 people. I've never ingested so much fertilizer at one point. My camera's covered in it. Oh, that wind is horrible. Only got about 100 more acres to go today. As long as the wind doesn't blow us over on the way over there. I don't think I should be spreading in this stuff. It's blowing 30 mile an hour out there with gusts of like 45. I'm gonna do a bad job fertilizing if I spread that. I know after 7 o'clock the wind is supposed to, or the wind warning, high wind warning is supposed to go away, so we're gonna finish this later today. There's not much I can do right now. The wind is horrible. I've been getting pretty nervous about these wind breaks. You know, the whole point of them is the cattle stand behind them to get out of the wind, but with these huge wind gusts, I'm just worried they're gonna flip over and hit the cows. But you can see there's a pretty big gap in between both of them, about 5-6 feet. I moved those just the other day and they were basically butting up next to each other. It's nice that they're sliding and not flipping over and hitting these, oh, that would be just horrible to come out here and the cows just stuck underneath one. And actually that building, those little tin calf shelters are notorious for flipping over. I'm glad we got some wood posts stuck in the ground and they're wired to them, but good gracious. And so either we'll get that spread tonight, or we'll watch the rain tomorrow, or neither of those will happen and we'll just spread tomorrow. It's the next day. Dad's going to do chores, and if you notice anything, it's dry. We didn't get any rain last night, only moisture, farmer tears. It's getting pretty painful out here. It's end of April. April's gone and no rain, and that's what, you know, April showers bring May flowers. Well, that's what gets your crop to germinate right away in the year, and that's what gets your pastures green so you can move cows to pasture. And right now I'm honestly daydreaming about taking potloads of our herd cattle and selling them at the livestock sale, and because we're not going to have any feed for them. Now, I don't want to be too down in the dumps, and not only that, there's people that have it a lot worse than us, like a lot of places in North Dakota last year. It's pretty bad. Yellow. We are getting some really small sprinkles right now, but there isn't much for cloud cover, and it doesn't seem like there's much coming, so we're going to spread this load. The best thing about today is we had a nice healthy bull calf this morning. So that gets us caught up a little bit more to the heifers. 56 bulls, 58 heifers, total of 114. As you can tell, we've really slowed down. We'll hop in that spreader, spread the rest of the fertilizer, and oh, I forgot the other bad news. You know, I was talking, today's Wednesday now. We were supposed to get rain last night. We got a chance for rain Friday and Saturday. Well, they took like Saturday completely away and cut Fridays in half. Oh man, it hurts. I hurt. What is this? It looks like we had a calf out or something. Something was, no, that's digging a hole. I don't know what. That just looked like we had a bunch of cattle out, but I don't know if it was a raccoon digging for worms. So we have 60 acres left in this field. Take about 50 minutes. I got some darkness down there. It might start raining again. If you don't know anything about urea fertilizer, really anything under than 2500s is actually worse than no rain at all. It gets it wet enough to spread across the soil, but not get into the soil. And then there's an enzyme on top of the soil and really everywhere that once it mixes with that fertilizer, it volatilizes, turns into a gas, and it goes back up in the air and you just lose it. Getting a few sprinkles. It's actually coming down pretty decent right now, but back to what I said earlier, if we don't get at least 2500ths, a quarter of an inch, it's not enough to get it in the ground. Part of this urea deal is if you leave it sitting in a spreader it gets hard, and then you have other issues. Just gonna call a mulligan on this entire year and head to Jamaica and sit in a palm tree and drink my sorrows. Neighbor's gonna drive by on the highway and think that guy's a moron, and you know what? You're not wrong. Ugh. I've never spread fertilizer in the rain before, so I can knock that off the old bucket list. We're flying. We're going 12.5 miles an hour. So that little spurt of rain is passing, so now it'll blow up and bless the great state of Minnesota with their nice heavy soils and their frequent rains. Eight hundredths. We've gotten 800ths, anywhere from 7 to 10 hundredths, about 4 times in the last probably 3 weeks, and that is definitely not the same as getting 30 to 40 hundredths in one rain. It just wets the top, evaporates, doesn't get in the soil at all. But you know what? We're done talking about rain and fertilizer because I beat that to death this video. Tractor got a little dirty. We'll clean that off. End the day with a nice clean tractor. It's looking pretty nice, pretty snazzy. Except I did find one bad thing. If you look right here, this must have got filled with water somehow and then froze during the winter and blew it out. And now we got this big crack right here, but I don't think it should weaken it too much because there's this big plate here. Not only that, we bought this thing about 9 months ago, so it should be under warranty. If we turn that in, somebody didn't weld something good enough. But anyway, thanks for watching this crappy video. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Man, we need a rain.